Welcome everybody to Rob's MetalWorks tonight. We are here at the home studio only to bring you the best and brightest of here in San Antonio. I'm really proud this evening to bring you a band that's been on my radar for quite some time, and they have definitely reached a point in their young careers where it's time to share them with the masses via Rob's MetalWorks. Let me welcome the fellas in Immortal Guardian. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. Welcome to the Casa. It's great to have you here after being a big fan of your debut CD, which we're going to talk about later on, but welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man.
Pleasure being here.
Gyro, Gabriel, yes, lots to talk about. You guys are killer, so I always enjoy working with great musicians. You guys are young cats, so who knows what the future holds for you all. But let's talk about initially the formation of Immortal Guardian. I remember seeing you guys back, a few years ago when you first started coming onto the scene, as many young bands do. So talk a little bit, Gabriel, about the formation of Immortal Guardian. I know that you're at the heart of this band. So when you decided to come out and play publicly as Immortal Guardian, what was your vision? What did you want to bring into the San Antonio scene?
Really, from the get-go, even before we moved to San Antonio, like what I really wanted to do with Immortal Guardian was make a band that pretty much like the way super metal says it in the name alone. I wanted to make a kind of metal band where you weren't just this, or you weren't just this, or you weren't a power metal band or a hardcore band. You were just about, you touched a little bit of everything. And of course, I wanted to find the musicians that could pull it off, and of course help me write in this style. And they wouldn't be so like, oh, we can't play that, that's not us, or we can't do this. I wanted to be able to please everyone in some way, form, or fashion, with the kind of metals that we play.
I think initially, there's, progressive metal, technical metal is not anything new, especially to San Antonio and the Houston scenes where many great, musicians and technical bands have come out of. But you guys, with your live shows, definitely were delivering something different. And Gabe, you playing keys and guitar simultaneously, I think was something like, whoa, this really blew a lot of people away. And of course, the technicality of it. So that was definitely something different and special.
That was just something that, I started doing like a few years ago. I just did it as a joke one day, and next thing you know, it became something really cool. Playing two different instruments, two different things, getting it all worked out. I think after like the first few Immortal Guardian shows, seeing people's reaction, I was like, I can't stop doing this. Like, people love the hell out of it, and people want to see it more and more and more. And we put out a YouTube video, and people, that's all they, they're like, oh, you're gonna do that tonight, you're gonna do that tonight. So I can never play a show without it. So I love it, No,
I think that's one of the things that has made Immortal Guardian special, especially live. So for people out there, there's going to be people out there, not only here in the U.S. but around the world, who will see this interview, maybe who've never heard of Immortal Guardian. How would you best describe what you're delivering, musically? I know it's progressive and melodic, but you guys are really kind of unique even within that genre.
Like what would we give them something different? You want to answer this one?
In what we are in the genre?
In general?
We're an amalgamation, I guess, of everything that is good in metal.
We're super metal.
Yeah, we're super metal.
We call the EP what it is, just super metal.
It was coined by Chris Marchiel of Power Glove. The genre, or our album was coined by him.
Really?
Just as a joke,
Josh would call yourself super metal because all the metals you have in the band, and I was like, first EP, super metal. There we go.
Yep.
I'll tell you honestly, when Gyro was the one who hooked me up with the CD, and actually I think I got it like a week before the release party. I hope I don't get you in trouble, Gabe. Gyro, but yeah, I got it a week before everybody else did. Gyro was hanging out, and we met at Buffalo Wild Wings or wherever we were at, and I saw the title. I was like, that is so simple yet cool and expressive and like monumental and strong. It doesn't get any cooler than that. Super metal. That's killer.
I want to make sure that even people that didn't listen to metal might be like, well, this is super, you know, might as well try it out, you know.
Right. Let's talk about, I mean, I think you know, I had seen you guys play before in Gape because you were such an instrumental part of the live show with the great, you know, virtuosity that you play with guitar. I actually was pleasantly surprised when I heard Gyro was in the band, because Gyro in his own right is a very accomplished young virtual guitarist as well. So I was like, usually you don't see that dynamic in a band. Usually there's a lead guitar player, and then someone who supplements that guitar player. But you guys both are kind of right there in the pocket. First of all, why was the decision made to bring Gyro into the band as a second guitar player?
I was always really down with those bands. Like, I really liked Maiden and like Cacophony and stuff, where like you don't just have that one guy shredding and the other guy playing rhythm. I love seeing two guys just go off at the same time, like just melting faces, you know. And it's like, man, why not have one lead guitar player when there's another guy that can join the band and do what I do and more, you know. And that gives me more to focus on keyboards, or the variety of your writing changes completely, as far as like, now since we have more than one, we can do this and you can do this and I can harmonize this, and here I can take a break and you'll play this part, and I don't know. It just, before we were a four-piece, we actually had another guitar player. Then he left. We moved to San Antonio as a four-piece. Okay. So whenever we got Gyro, it was like, finally we're complete again. So that whole like transitional period wasn't that I wanted one guitar player. It was just that's the way it was at the time. Yeah. So
Gyro, what's it been like? I mean, I've known you for a little while since you've been in San Antonio from LA, but I'm kind of, you know, I was really glad, you know, that you actually have found a really strong home aside from some of the other things you do. What's it been like jamming with Immortal Guardian?
It's actually been really good. Really accomplished a lot of stuff, you know, so far, and it's actually been probably the best band I've jammed with the best members. Everything's just been really good.
I think that's great, because I think, you know, if it's like the company you keep, you know, you are what your friends are. I mean, if you're hanging out and playing with good musicians, you know, and everyone in the band is accomplished, you know, you and everyone. So, I mean, I guess it makes everybody just better.
Yeah, it's awesome because, like, I mean, outside of the band, we're friends, you know, so, like, that's a big part. Like, I've seen a lot of bands where you listen to them live and they're amazing. They're the most awesome musicians, but they can't even hang out in the same room, you know, because they're just attitudes or whatever. But fortunately, I found a guy who's like my age. We both like play pretty similar styles. You know, we've both been playing almost as long as each other, and it's like, man, why not? You know, I could use a hand, he could use one.
And I wanna go ahead and also give. I know you've been on tour, but I want to give props to Gyro. You got second place in the Guitar Wars this past year, so I mean, congrats with that, Gyro. I saw the video on YouTube. I wasn't able to go, but I saw your performance, and it was really killer and stellar. You definitely played some fast shreds, so awesome, man. Congrats to you. Let's talk about a little bit more in depth about Super Metal. Talk a little bit about the songs on Super Metal, Gabriel, and how old are those songs? Are those songs that were written kind of as a band, or how, you know, how did those songs come to be on Super Metal?
Super Metal, like, a lot of the songs on Super Metal, I think like 3 or 4 of them were just written by me and Cody, maybe like in late middle school, early high school. And like, yeah, I mean, Immortal Guardian's been around forever as like the music, but as a band, it was never really anything until for a long time, because it was me and Cody. We wrote a bunch of songs, and we were just two, you know, middle school kids just running to rock out. And we never planned to make like a full-out band, and like, I mean, I never thought it was going to become something like this. You know, I had another project, and Immortal Guardian's music was just a little side project to jam out. And then next thing you know, it took us a few years to finally find people that could play the music. The songs were written years before we even had members playing them. And since this was our first release, it's like, all right, let's get these old songs out of the way, release them. So anything else that comes out is going to be a product of Immortal Guardian as a band, not just Gabriel and Cody's songs, you know.
So now the EP has been out since March. People have definitely, you guys had a successful, you know, release parties at Zombies and elsewhere in town. What's the reception been like? What have people told you about the release, their feedback on it?
We've had a lot of positive feedback on Super Metal. whether it's on iTunes download comments or on Amazon or just in person at the shows.
Porn websites where they illegally download it.
Yeah.
At least they compliment it before they.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a consensus that for that much metal for $4.99 on iTunes, like people are just digging it and downloading it. So it's been good to us so far.
I mean, it's so far nothing bad. So you know.
I mean, I had to listen to Super Metal about 3 or 4 or 5 times, and every time I heard it, I heard something new and cool. I was like, wow, I mean, it's so much. It's like, you know.
One thing I aim for, you know, so that every time you hear it, it's like, oh man, there's so much detail I didn't hear the first time around, you know.
So, as we sit here now, maybe like, you know, 4 or 5 months later, what is the plan? Are you writing new music right now? Are there new tunes that you have under the belt that you have yet to release, or what's the plan there?
It's actually both. We have a whole library of songs that like me and Cody and some Foster wrote that just been sitting there. Like, what are we gonna do with these? We're gonna release them now, 5 years from now. Like, you know, we just always have that bank of songs, but at the same time, we're also coming up with that new style. So, I mean, what I plan to do for the next EPs or the next CDs in general just is release a little bit of both, like a little bit of what we've already had and a little bit of what's new. So the crowd keeps getting that consistent, like, old school, new school feel. So they're never like, oh man, this band changed, you know. Right. Oh, these guys are so different, or, you know, like, want to keep that Immortal Guardian sound, you know.
Well, I think, Gay, that's really important because, I mean, you guys have actually, you know, definitely garnished a fan base here in San Antonio, and hopefully, you know, that fan base is growing. So, when would you? I mean, is Super Metal still something that you're thinking? Well, you know, I want to try to support this EP for the rest of the year, or are you already thinking ahead, or are you even considering? You know, I know you have a manager who's like, is he out there, you know, trying to pub the CD to get a deal, or what's going on the back end?
To be honest, we're of course we're pushing Super Metal, you know, for as hard as we can, as long as we can. But we are, as of right now, like still writing and recording so that if we need a CD by tomorrow, we can already be on top of things. Like, all right, we need an EP, all right, we got it, or a CD or whatever, you know. So pretty much everything you just said, we're doing a little bit of it all at the same time, so it all gets done together, you know.
Well, also, as we talk about the here and now, I recently came to know that your singer, Wesley, is no longer in the band. I'm glad to know that, you know, it was kind of an amicable split. So now, I mean, talk a little bit about what's going to happen with Immortal Guardian. I mean, there's people out there who love to go to your shows. I mean, what does that mean for live performances or the band moving forward?
Well, we're not on a hiatus by any means. We're still going to be booking shows. Myself, Gabriel, and Cody, our drummer, have all taken the vocal responsibilities on our own, and we're going to be singing and doing live shows. But we're also doing a YouTube search. You can go to our YouTube, Immortal Guardian Band, and there's a video with a description on how to submit your stuff. And we're looking for the best that the world has to offer, not just Texas, not just the U.S. We're willing to work with someone on a long-distance collaboration. Just looking for the perfect fit, really.
Wow.
Yeah.
Any good submissions thus far?
Oh no, I mean we just put out the video
Just brand new,
like a day or two ago or something like that. So I mean we'll see what happens, you know.
Interesting. So once you do get the new vocalist, hopefully you'll be bringing him into the fold as far as putting new music together.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, we want to make sure that we don't just get some robot like here's the music, sing this, play this. All right, you're in the band. But I want to make sure we get someone that has also, you know, the creativity and they can input, you know, their own ideas and vocal style, you know. So that's really what I'm trying to get is everyone to, for the next EP, to like have a piece of their own creativity, so you really hear what Immortal Guardian it really is, you know.
And I know as well that you guys do like a lot of like, you guys really work hard as far as like promoting Immortal Guardian. I think on the back end, bands really have to do that to be successful. Yeah, so like tonight you guys are gonna go jam at the Mayhem show outside, and cool. Talk a little bit about those endeavors.
Well, it kind of started with South by Southwest. We did this. We made this thing called the Shred Sled. And really what it is just like these two wooden platforms with wheels on it. You know, they're all movable. Wow. And we put the bare minimum equipment that we need, like bare small guitar heads, speakers, or whatever, electric drum sets, so you carry nothing heavy. So it's all rollable in this one thing. We just show up to an event and we just start rocking, and just, you know, it's like, instead of bringing people to you, we go to the people and we, you know, we just give them a hell of a show out in the middle of the street when they least expect it. And after doing it, like, we did it a few nights at South by Southwest, and the outcome was just like insane. Like, it was one of the best things we've ever done. So, I mean, everybody remembers us for that, and a lot of people found out about our band that way. So it's like, why don't we, you know, let's not do this just once a year doing South by. Let's do it through every big event that comes. So, I mean, right after this interview, we're gonna go try to hit up that Trivium show in town. Yeah.
Cool. So. All right, guys. Well, as we kind of get near the end of this interview, talk a little bit about where fans can learn more about Immortal Guardian online.
ImmortalGuardian.net. That has everything. ImmortalGuardian.net. Of course, you can hit us up on our Facebook, but ImmortalGuardian.net should have all our videos, tour dates, music, downloads, singer search stuff. So it's all there if y'all ever have any questions.
Guys, anything I miss? I know you guys are busy, and not to take away from Immortal Guardian, but can you maybe also share a little bit with the people out there, maybe some of the other things that maybe we missed, like any other of your endeavors that you want to share, not necessarily, you know, just Immortal Guardian stuff, but you guys, you know, I think musicians in the new millennium are multifaceted. They do not just one thing, they're doing several things. So if there's anything else that you guys want to share with the people out there, feel free.
Well, just keep practicing, you know, you could be the best band, you know, if you really wanted to. That's what we're trying to do, and we're just trying.
You know, that's probably the best advice I can give to any musician or even non-musicians, just that, like, where we are and where I want to be is not going to happen overnight. You know, this is everything that just to get where we are right now is taking so much work, you know, and we're only a small fraction of where I want to be. So pretty much just like anything else, you got to practice the hell out of things or just keep going at it. Even when things are really shitty, just keep going, because usually after that hump is when things get good, you know, things get better.
My biggest thing is don't put the label on a pedestal. The white whale that is, you know, the record label. It's not all about getting signed. It's about developing yourself as a band, as a group, as a project.
Right now, you know.
Yeah, we're looking to do it independent, and we're looking to do it hard DIY all the way. And if there's something that gets our attention from a label or from whoever, then we'll look at that in the future. But right now, we're doing it Immortal Guardian all DIY.
Guys, it's been my pleasure. Thank you all for coming over and talking about the band and sharing about everything that you're doing with Immortal Guardian. I'm very excited about you guys. If I wasn't, you know, I wouldn't have made this happen. I want to give a shout out to the man over here, Brad, for assisting and getting you guys here. He's been amazing in giving me everything I need. Remember, everyone out there in San Antonio and around the world, the debut from Immortal Guardian is out right now. You can pick it up online. It is called Super Metal. How can you forget that, man? Go buy it. Killer tunes, great songs, definitely worth your hard-earned dollar. You saw the band only right here on Rob's MetalWorks.